we move on to doing the questions now. Where we had left last class, like we had finished up with the, what do we call it? The menu driven question. We had finished there. And now we do something very differently taken into consideration. And because I want to cover the most of it today, so I have the solution in front of me and we'll discuss it step by step, or maybe we do the dry run that makes the concept more clear. Okay. Now the first question we do here is that it's from the worksheet only. They just shared with you already. And that's the last question of the first worksheet. Count the number of times a character appears in a given string. Every character appearing how many times? That means supposingly if I talk about a string as maybe Sushmita, so there I have to find out S appears 2 times, U appears once, H appears once, M appears once, I appears once, T appears once. Like that. Okay. So I have to actually take up every character. It could be this character, this string also. Any string the user enters. Not a single word. It can be a multi-word string also. String means single word or multi-word. Both are applicable. Okay. So if I'm talking about this kind of a string, I want him to go character by character. Like he checks out P, sees the entire string, tries to find out how many times it is appearing, and then stores that value for me, that P appears 5 times, A appears 2 times, O appears 1 time, R appears 2 times, like that. And that storage is in the form of a dictionary, right? So ultimately in this dictionary, I will be storing the character. Suppose I'm saying P and this is my key, okay? And how many times is it appearing? Suppose 3 times, followed by another character, supposingly R, and that is appearing 5 times in my string. Okay, so ultimately this is the output I want, that my dictionary should contain the characters and their occurrence. Character and their occurrence. Whether it's 1 time, 0 time, not 0 times exactly. Whatever characters are appearing in that string based on that. Okay. Now this is not a very difficult thing to do actually, because of the concept of dictionary and in operator. Both act as magics to this particular thing. Okay. Now look here, I have the string entered. Of course, that's a basic thing. I need the string which I want to refer to. Then I create a blank dictionary because ultimately I have to put my characters and their occurrences after searching into that dictionary as elements. So I need a blank dictionary. Okay. Now refer to this statement. For a variable name in st. St is what? St is my string. Okay. Am I clear? Is this much clear of the question? That what exactly we are trying to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for ch in st, that means this particular variable is now going to pick up every single character from the string stored in st, one by one. Supposingly, my string stored is character. This is the string I've given in st. Fine. So ch picks up the first value as c. First time in the loop. It's a loop. Okay. So for ch in st, the first character picked up by ch will be c, the first character from here. Okay, it's picked up that. Now, though I'm checking it for the first time, for the machine, it is like a general way of doing the thing. But for me, technically, it is the first time I'm checking this character. But the process remains same. So I write it in the same manner. If this ch is there in the dictionary, if ch is available in the dictionary, which ch? This ch. What is the exact value of ch? C. So in my dictionary, if ch is available, that is the value c is available, then in that case, you take up the value from the dictionary and increment it by 1 for that corresponding key. or that corresponding CH. This will evaluate to what? Dict CH is equal to Dict CH plus 1. Now Dict CH, if it is not existing, he will create it with 1 for the first time. If it is existing, he will be picking up this value, whatever Dict CH will return, and then add 1 to it and replace it back into Dict CH. Is this thing clear? See, what I'm trying to say is that supposingly, let me show it to you with a existing dictionary. Then it will be, I think, better off. Because you should know what element am I accessing and how am I updating the value in that. Now, suppose I'm saying that I picked up a dictionary, same names I'm picking up. So dict is equal to, and I already have C, okay. It says it is 1 or 2. I've already, checked and I found that it is 1. So this is my dictionary. This is what I want to create. Which character, how many times? Okay. Now come to this code. CH has picked up C from my string, which is character. Okay. He's picked up the C, this one. Now he goes to the dictionary and he says, is my CH existing in the dictionary? That is C existing in the dictionary, which is a true answer. So this condition becomes true. Now, if this condition is true, what he is doing? He is doing dict of CH. What will dict of CH? Sorry, dict of C in this case, not CH. CH is actually the variable containing C. So here I'm using the value directly. Dict of C gives me 1. है ना? इसी 1 को I have to increment it by 1. Correct? So dict of C is to be assigned dict of C plus 1. That's what we want to do. Dict of C, which will refer to the value of the corresponding key C in the dictionary DIC. That value should be becoming that whatever value is existing plus 1. And that is how it will become 2. Right? So if the character is existing, that is what this code is mentioning here. But if the character is existing, then pick up the corresponding value, because how to pick up the corresponding value from the dictionary? You have to give him the key in the square brackets. That's what I'm telling him. But onto that, existing value should be added with 1, and that should be replaced. Okay. And if the value doesn't exist, so what I'm trying to do here, I try to write take R equal to 1. What does it do? What did we learn? That if R is existing in my dictionary, this value will be replaced by the existing value. If it is not existing, he adds the data. He does not give an error that you're trying to modify a value which is not existing. That key doesn't exist. Because of this advantage, this kind of a question can be done so easily. That when I'm giving him a new data, he will add it if it is not existing. If it is existing, I'm asking him to extract, add 1 to it, and then replace it back. That's what we are doing here. If you find this expression a little confusing, this particular one, then you can write it like this also. There is no problem. But remember, we had done A is equal to A plus 1 can be written as A plus equal to 1. This will expand to A equal to A plus 1. Now this A is just a note of any expression I talk about. So here, this is my A, you can say, this is my A. So A equal to A plus 1. I can also write it as A plus equal to 1. That is what we have done here. But if you find it confusing still, you can use this expression, no problem. Am I clear with this concept? And ultimately, when this entire loop finishes, like he picks up the first character, then checks, and then either increments or assigns. Next one, increments or assigns. This whole loop finishes with all the characters of this string. Right, like what will happen? C will be fetched first. So C1, H1, A1, R1. After that, when A comes again, so +1, that is now A will become 2. Appearance of A, occurrence of A is 2. C, 2, T, 1, E, 1. And R again, he will find R is present in the dictionary because previously I've already added it. So that value will be increased. Right? So when we ultimately print the dictionary, you can do it like this also. You can directly say print DIC. No need to print it like this in a loop. We know that. Okay. So if I do it like this, then my output comes out to be, this is the string I entered. You can see that. This is the string I entered. And this is the output I got. This is like a formatted output. But even if I print the entire dictionary, I'll have it as H:2, E:1, L:2, like that. But here we have done it in a little formatted manner. Don't get pissed off with this that a BA pata nahi kya hai, right? It's nothing. For the keys in the dictionary, the key is like a variable which is being picking up every dictionary value. And then he is showing the key and the value at that particular key. So showing the key and the value, key and the value. That's what this is. In the way I wanted to show. Okay, so HELO, then the space is appearing 4 times. For him, it means counting the space minded. Then W, then D, then Y, then U. Is the question clear? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
How about others? I think everybody is there today. What about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Others also? Beyond Ashif, Mohak, Raghav, Manya, Manan, Radhika, right? Okay. So that is how we are able to pick up this data. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question, which is actually the previous one. The previous one is also a interesting concept. It says, write a program to convert a number. So let me see the output first. You enter any number and you get the corresponding letter wise of it. What do you call it? In junior classes, what you used to call it? Expanded form. Right? So 8 and 8, like properly written, English 9 and 9 and 5 and 5, like that. This question also, believe me, when we used to do in 6, in C or Java, it used to be a huge code. Okay. But use of dictionary makes it really simple. Really simple. Right? Now, the way you have to handle this question is that you accept the number, but in the string form. Can somebody tell me why? Why am I not accepting the number given by the user, this 8?
Because you can't use numbers as variables.
Yes, you can actually extract every digit very easily in that case. You're not performing any calculation. So it doesn't matter whether I take it in the string form or number form. If I had to do some calculation on that value, then definitely I would need it in the numeric form. Then my string will not work. But because here I want to extract the digits one by one, I have to refer to the digits one by one using this simple statement in usage of in. This becomes very, very handy for me. There are mathematical ways of getting this value too. Okay. And that's interesting also, I mean, but a little you can say lengthy method. Fine. I can show you one example by which you'll understand how I can do that mathematically also. Supposingly, I have a number 895. Okay. What happens if I write 895 modulus 10? Can somebody tell me? What is the answer of 895 modulus 10? Modulus operator you have done. It gives you the remainder.
5.
Have I not extracted the last digit? Isn't it? Okay, but last
Yes,
digit I can get directly by 895 modulus 10. What do I do with my 9 and my 8? Then there are two small steps we do in that particular program where I say 895. If I do an integer divide 10, what happens? What answer do I get?
89.
Right? Followed by 89 modulus 10. 9. Pehle I was able to extract my 5. Then I was able to extract my 9. Now to get 8, so that 8 modulus 10, I can get 8 also. What I have to do is I have to do 89 double divide 10. I get 8. And then I am going to say 8 modulus 10, which gives me 8. Right? So this way I was able to extract the digits of the number numerically. But the code which we have to write in order to do this process, because obviously it can be a 10-digit number also. I'll not keep on doing it like this for every number. To extract every digit, it has to be in a loop. There are basically two steps you're doing. Number modulus 10, number divide by double divide by 10 to get the next number. Uska modulus 10. Okay, so that is a loop process basically. But I'm saying that numerically also you can do it. Okay? But in Python, it becomes very simple if you have to do it in the string format. Why? Because using this beautiful statement for ch in num, where num is my number and ch is just a variable, it can be any variable name. I'm easily able to extract one by one the alphabets or the characters of the string. Here the characters are numbers, digits. That's okay. For the machine, the digits are also characters. Right? He automatically picks up. Like first time when I'm going to use a for loop for this 895, supposedly the input is 895, my ch will be 8. और यहाँ पे तो ये actually reverse में निकलता है value. In this manner, we can actually, like you can see, it's 5 first, then 9, and then 8. So ulta it has been extracted. Okay? But in this manner, I am able to extract the number in the straight direction only. Because obviously, if this method we follow, then we have to do something in order to make the number reverse again. Because 895 को अगर आप 5, 9 and 8 इस तरीके से if you are extracting, then in that case you are going to print FIVE, NINE and EIGHT, right? तो number ही change हो गया. Isn't it? So there is a little longer method when you handle this particular data in the number format. You have to extract, then put it in an array, then reverse that array, and then use those digits one by one to check and get the corresponding text value for that digit. Okay, so it's a little lamba process. But this is very simple when it comes down to this particular thing. Because using this line, I can actually extract individually every character, whatever has been entered. Okay, so I picked up. So first value which ch picks up is 8. Now I need to get EIGHT for this 8. Okay, in order to do that in a simple manner, what Python provides us with this particular thing, which is called as my dictionary. And in the dictionary, I've stored 0 to 9. Technically, you have 0 to 9 elements only na, in the entire number system. इससे ज़्यादा और कोई digit तो हो ही नहीं सकता. हो सकता है? नहीं हो सकता, है ना? So 0, if it is 0 like this, and mind it, this is in quotes, because I'm going to compare this particular thing in the form of a quote only. I mean, in a string format itself. So 0 is string. And what does it mean? ZERO. 1 in string. And what does it mean? ONE1. So this I have stored initially. अब मुझे simply क्या करना है? This CH has extracted 8 for me. I have to go and pick up the corresponding value for the key 8. So if I write names in brackets 8, this 8, I should get EIGHT. अब 8 किसके अंदर stored है? CH के अंदर. ठीक है. So names square bracket ch will extract the value. ठीक है. Now here what we have done is we could have directly printed that also, but what we have done is we have tried to create a string concatenating every number name. Final एक create किया है हमने, otherwise you could have directly printed also. But then you would never be able to store that. If later on in the program you have to use this result, this entire string as a whole, then that will not be possible if I'm not creating this string for me. So what I've exactly done is value being extracted, and that is being joined with a blank string. I've created a blank string. Every time whatever value is getting the number, I mean the character set, that gets concatenated with a space. So initially result is blank, then concatenate it with 8, and that too with a blank space. So you can see there's an extra blank space here in the beginning. You can see that blank space EIGHT. That is my result. So this is my first step result. Next iteration, CH becomes 9. Names of 9. Names of 9 is NINE, right? So value becomes NINE. Now previous result is space and EIGHT followed by space followed by NINE. That is joined together and put back into result. So itna aa gaya result ke andar. Then again we have the next step. So it goes again up and picks up CH as 5, the last character. Okay. Names of 5. Names of 5 is FIV. That's picked up in the value. Now previous result was 8 space 8 space 9. That was result. Concatenated with a space. So the space comes. Concatenated with the value. FIV comes. That becomes my new result. It's assigned back into the result. So the new string created having the number names, digit names rather, is this particular thing finally. 8, 9, and 5. Is it fine? You need to try this, of course, then only you will be able to understand what we are trying to say. Is it fine? Do a dry run for this to understand it better. Okay, do a dry run yourself. Once. It's very, very directly done thing, so it should not be a difficult process to understand. I feel that. I might be wrong. Now this is the kind of dry run I expect you to do step by step. If you do it, you will definitely understand how the code is working. For that, let's quickly take up this question, which I think I did start in the last class. Now here it is saying that whatever string user gives me, like this is a string, I've directly taken it. You will accept it from the user using input function. So whatever string user gives me, I have to create my dictionary in such a manner that I get the first occurrence added in my dictionary. That's the first occurrence. So W appears at the 0th position. Sorry, the position, not the occurrence. I'm so sorry. Index value of the first occurrence, I mean. So position. First time wherever it is occurring, that position I want. So W appears at the 0th position. 3 appears at the first position. R appears at the second position. E appears at the third position. S appears at the 4th position. O at the 5th. U at the 6th. R again. So R is still 3. 2. 0, 1, 2. R is not updated. Okay? So it should not be updating the data. That means what? If the value you're talking about is not present in my dictionary, then only add it. I mean, put it. The character with the position. Otherwise, don't put it. So यहाँ पे condition देखो change हो गया. If हम generally क्या करते हैं? If it is present, then update or something like for updation. But here I don't want that. So I'm using the not in membership operator to check. If that character is not present in my dictionary, please do the updation at that time. Okay, that's one point in this. Second thing is that what are you updating? How are you getting the position? Okay. Now when you move in the loop, if I take a single variable with the initial value as 0, any variable for that matter, so every time the loop is running, every iteration, I am incrementing or changing the value of I by 1. So automatically when the loop is running for the first time, the value of I is 0. जब वो यहाँ update कर रहा है इसको, तब तक I is not changed, तो I is 0. Next iteration के लिए I will become 1. Next के लिए I will become 2. तो automatically I am getting for every step, I am getting the position in my I automatically. एक वेरिएबल ले लिया जो हर आइटरेशन में चेंज हो रहा है ना, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आई एम गेटिंग द पोजीशन. इफ आई एम अपडेटिंग द पोजीशन फॉर W, which is will be stored in K, so how will I pick up the position? I. Next time I again. Fine. Though I will be here also available, this position, what will be the value of I when K picks up this R? 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. ठीक है, but he will not do the updation because the character is already present in the dictionary and my condition here is not in, so he will not do the updation, but the I keeps on incrementing itself. So that is why this statement is not in the if. कि update किया उसके बाद change करो, I को increment करो. No, this is part of the loop but not part of the if. If keeps on going on normally only by just putting the value. Check करो, नहीं है तो put कर दो, अगर है तो क्या करना है, कुछ नहीं करना, because you don't want to update that. Is it fine? And now step by step I've shown you the dry run also here, so you can go through it easily, that how exactly this is the ST, the string. I is changing every time, 0 1 2 3 4 like that. D is initially blank when it first time inserts the value. This is it. Okay, and what does K take every time? So K first time takes W, then 3, then R, 1 character every time from the string. So वही character वहां पे जाएगा because you're putting it like this with the value from the variable I. So that is how you are getting W and 0. W pick किया यहाँ से, I का initial value अभी तक when he is updating it is 0. Okay, so this gets added. Now I becomes 1. Then he goes up, takes the next K. So K becomes 3. Then he enters here, he checks, is 3 available? No, not in there. So true. So this gets added. 3 and 1. Fine. So that is how I've shown you the dry run. Do it yourself and then compare that how exactly am I doing it correctly or not. Okay. If there is any problem after the test tomorrow, I can discuss that. It will be a small test, so don't worry, but prepare well. That will be a good preparation for your UT also. Fine, do so.